Okay.
Are you sleeping?
Okay.
What's up?
I don't know. What's up? Where is everybody? Oh, there we are. That I have to say that was very revealing the other day, Jamie, when I was like, how do I see the three of you?
I know, right?
Good morning. I was like, oops. I felt like I'd let something slip.
What are you doing, goofball?
Recovering.
Oh no. 7-Eleven. Look at you.
Oh my.
What are you
What?
recovering from?
Traumatic poop.
Oh, yeah.
Because you drank 7-Eleven coffee?
Yep.
You know the last time clean, right?
What?
You know the last time they cleaned that machine, right?
Oh, these ones are brand new ones. I even got freshly ground coffee today. I just realized they have a new feature. They have a freshly ground coffee feature at 7-Eleven. It grinds the coffee right there in a machine.
Ooh, fancy pants.
I told you I'm not I'm just gonna transform them. I'm going to make them into nasty shit. I'm gonna make it into organic people. You're gonna make it nice for poor people. How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
Deal.
I
Deal?
approve. I approve.
And it's also kind of funny. Like the first part of the intervention will be healing the impoverished people that you prey off of with their social reform and tax credits and shit and gas. Yeah. So now you're going to use it to make them people healthy. And you're going to give them cheap gas too. How about that?
Because it's
But
fun
good
anyways.
quality gas.
Well, we're gonna make gas like in other countries. You just make it like some sort of staple thing, but not. They've made it into a money making thing, and we'll make it into like, oh, it's just one of these things that is behind the scenes. And by the way, we're scooting it out the door.
I was going to say until we don't really need it either because it's on its way out.
Yeah, talking about it, just releasing it, that scares the shit out of people. So you gotta just like, well, we gotta kind of gently ease it out of our grip. Because people really like talking about gas prices. I mean, like, fuck. You go to any goddamn coffee shop in Lebanon, motherfucking Oregon between the hours of 5:30 a.m. and 7 a.m., and you can guarantee you're going to talk about fucking gas prices. You're going to talk about fucking gas prices. You're going to talk about the fucking some sort of weather condition, right? And local news. That's it. That's what we got.
Maybe a remodel project.
Ooh, yeah, talk about yes, that's my favorite. Talk about the roofing project that you got going on or the lawnmower things that you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
Redoing the front of your house for the 30th time.
I look at my house sometimes now and I just let it regrow. I've let it regrown. And it's like sometimes that's really hard for me to see, but also it's like now I walk out of my house and it looks like the fucking forest. So I don't know what to tell people. They tell us all the spiritual people say you got to get in the forest, and I'm just letting my house turn into a forest. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's perfect.
I would love to do one of those cob homes with like the thermal heating and cooling and solar panels, and those suckers are cool. They're beautiful and they're sustainable, and you can have them like in the ground and stuff growing on them and make hobbit houses and the whole shebang. fireproof, earthquake proof. If you build them correctly, pest proof.
It's crazy.
You know, and you don't have to worry about like, can you get the materials, because the materials are right there in the land. You don't have to worry about whether or not you can get lumber and all of that stuff.
I need to look these up. It reminds me of an Earth home.
Oh, you still have to get materials, but they're materials that are a lot easily sourced, and especially within a community.
Well,
I had a wonderful day of work. It was a really good day, very connecty, kind of quiet with a nice change of pace sometimes. And yeah, then I just took the rest of the day to catch up with some people and take some time for myself. What'd you do, Jamie? It was Adam's birthday yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we just ran around a lot and then we went to a football game. So that was fun. We were in St. Louis. Anthony?
It's been a rough.
oh. I'm getting my mind blown right now. The person that intersected with me, that specifically started engaging me yesterday at the discussion at the Baha'i Center. So I go to the Baha'i Center, and immediately the makeup of this meeting is artistry and spirituality. And the first person to shake my hand and start talking to me and let me know that I am welcome there in a strange way. Her name is Carmel Lakhani, medical doctor, psychiatrist. So she starts talking to me immediately and just doesn't even fucking make any qualms about it. I just know that she knows that I'm there, because I can just feel it. And how did I confirm that? I just found out that yes, she's associated with the University of Oregon, but she works at my old place of work at the Lane County Behavioral Health. I used to work with at Lane County Behavioral Health. Holy. And so I'm at this fucking meeting yesterday, and I go into this room. There's a medical doctor psychologist, a medical doctor psychiatrist, LCSW social worker, LCSW social worker, musician, and myself. And they all want to hear my message about the UFOs and lights in the sky. They're really excited about it. They're excited. They have stopped what they are doing, and they've moved their chairs around me and are talking to me about what I want to talk about. And they know about Carl Jung. They know about synchronicities. They fucking aren't playing around. They're not fucking like, there's just fucking really super intelligent people that know what I'm fucking talking about. And it's fucking awesome because it's our worlds matching. It's our worlds matching. It's science. And they loved it. I was like, as soon as they were talking about an artistry and thing, and I said, well, in my world, I look at artistry, stone circles all over this world, continents and everything, circles, artist circles, and everybody thinks, oh, that's neat and pretty, ha ha ha. And I know that they all astronomical alignments. So that's science to the ha ha, funny, neat, neat, ha ha. And they all mean the same thing. So that means that if we understand that all the circles mean something and they're all onto something, that means we're the ones that actually fucking know. And that's the most exciting thing. It was an exciting day yesterday. Because it really is that must mean there's a lot of people in that must mean that the professional world in this world is unfolding. The people who are prescribed, that's what it's telling me. Us prescribers are getting ready to rise up for our clients. The prescribers and the people who can do mental health diagnosis, we're about ready to rise for our clients. We're going to rise up for our clients and we're going to say, well, wait a minute. That becomes an amazing thing if you really think about it.
Jamie, did you see that, did you check out that dude that I sent you at all?
Which dude?
The one that was talking about the tribe of Dan?
Yes. I don't remember exactly, but I did look at it. Hold on. I'm going to look at it again.
That's something that I kind of, not to,
Where did you send that?
I sent it to you through TikTok, and this is not, I know this seems like a departure from what you're saying, Anthony, but really it's not, because I feel like I'm watching this gelling starting to happen, like that whatever it is that seems to be drawing us together is drawing us together faster, more.
Yes. Yes.
And so the reason that I bring this gentleman up is because he keeps talking about the tribe of Dan, having found the lost tribe of Dan. He's talking about these circles, and it's all in Delaware and Pennsylvania. You can totally see where it follows the Appalachian Mountains and up and through Scotland. It's all up and through that area. He keeps trying to get in touch with Billy Garson. Because they've been pulling artifacts out of the ground, and they've been cataloging them as they go, like sending them to places, reputable places, to get them dated and cataloged. And I think it might be something that you would find interesting to just kind of put in your wheelhouse, Anthony.
Well, yeah, and well, when you're saying that, is immediately you brought up, where did you say it was from? You said where did you, Pennsylvania, Indiana?
No, Delaware is primarily where he found the site that they're working with.
Let me see if I can find it.
And this guy, I've been watching this guy since last late summer, and he has been hollering and hollering, trying to get attention. He seems very legit, and like he has been doing the best he can to present this as a legitimate, taking all the proper steps for people to be able to validate and verify what he's saying. He's not being shisty or hidey.
Well, I think the Dan of well, Rick's getting ready to do a trip to Brittany, does stones in Brittany. He wanted to let me know about the megalithic stone, but my question to him was, are the stones in Brittany, are they from the same elevation as Appalachia, as some of the Ozarks, some of the British Isles, and the Scottish Highlands? Are they the same stones from this parts of Earth that did not sink, that are still above water? And that's what I'm wondering. That's what is pinging on me. Everything in my journey. When you bring up this guy, Tribe of Dan, my immediately response is, well, we should probably relieve that person's anxiety. It's hidden archaeology. The hidden archaeologist on YouTube. He breaks down the tribe of Dan from Danu, from ARK, from Amun Ra of Karnak. He follows Danu, the very original symbol. And so, and he does a good job in going, well, some of these Danus went this way to Germanic, and some of these went over here to the Celtics, and some of these Celtic Germanic ones came back up through the British Isles and reconnected with them. Now they know the differences in DNA by the by the average of redhead blue eye per population. They know the different ones by the amount of DNA in redhead blue-eyed ones compared to the Germanic ones and the ones that went the Celtic Danish way. And they know this. They really know this. And why I think this is important and is for us is like a node of comfort. To me, when we talk about the tribe of Dan and people who have anxiety, we are bringing in nodes to bring comfort, to know that yes, the petri dish has fully populated out. We have done taken over everything that we can take over. Oh, you peaceful people over there, we're coming over you too. Oh, you peaceful people over there, we're coming over you too. We'll just do it until the petri dish is over. And what I honestly believe is that's maybe how we are really freaking created in that whole process of us going and overcoming and doing all of this discourse that we do that is really hard for us to we really have to like as a culture go take over a whole continent. Like, oh fuck, I don't even know, that's weird, but yes, it's part of our whole process. And at the end of this petri dish filling out, we all decide, well, I'm not going to consume you anymore and you're not going to consume me, and we build something new. So that guy's right. Let's find him. Let's give him a hug.
What's the name of the YouTuber for the hidden archetypes?
The person that Anthony was talking about.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I can't find it.
Son's birthday
Oh.
today.
His name was
Really?
Anunnaki Origins Revealed.
Anunnaki Origins Reveal.
Yeah, ARC number 4's birthday is today. ARK number 4 is that's another thing I don't talk about is there's 4 arcs on this earth. There are 4 arcs that are connected by DNA to me. 4 of us. That's probably made for confusion too. If I had to guess. Because it wasn't made on purpose. It wasn't made so that I could just go, oh, we have 4. There was nothing like that in that thinking of naming these.
But it usually it's an efficient system, so there's usually multiple reasons, not just backups, but also points on a map.
Oh,
Anchors.
I like that. I like that. I like that because what I see in my sister is like my mother, this highly fractaled individual. And she knows that if you actively talk to her, she sounds like a crazy lady, fucking, and she lives like a crazy lady. But I know that my sister, I can go look at my sister and know she's my sister, and I can see her living like she is, and I just say, oh, she's a great force of energy that does not know how great of a force she is, because if she did, it would not look like this. It would not be like this. If she knew exactly what and who she was, it would not be like, her life would not look like this. Just would not. Because people around her wouldn't allow her to live like that. People would not allow that to happen. They just wouldn't. They would go, holy shit, she has abilities. And she wouldn't live like that. That's what I think in our real society. That's for all of us that went through it.
Yeah. You're killing me, Smalls, with that 7-Eleven cup. I just got to tell you.
Oh, we're teabagging the shit out of that. I don't even care. I've already told you what I'm doing to them. Gas and oil and billions of dollars. I don't even something very nefarious, and that has not fully unfolded yet, but it is going to unfold. I know
No.
it will unfold.
I don't think, I have to tell you, I don't think negatively of 7-Eleven.
Oh, I do. Oh, they did something. They did something on the last election cycle that is not unfolded yet, and it is very bad. It is very bad.
That's disappointing to hear because they're actually a beloved part of my childhood.
Mine too. But they're tied into the system less than. It's surprising to me that they haven't started doing prescription deliveries or something yet, just to fucking get into that next level of money making, which is tap in to the Medicaid, Medicare, tap into the Medicaid, Medicare, and then we'll give them all free shit. We'll make them feel good going to the doctor, give them something free. Here's a piece of plastic worth $5. Costs $6,000 for your government, but we'll give you one and it'll go to your house and just sit in a fucking box while nobody listens to it or does anything about it. Yep, I know what's going on. It's like you go to the doctor's office and you got to have a prize gift bag now. I got my gift bag from the doctor's office full of goodies. That's what it's like. You don't go to the VA in 2 years, 3 years. You don't go to the VA. They send you 3 mailings. One, that you need to make an appointment or they're going to remove you off the list. And two, hey, would you like to have some sort of penis fuck? You want your penis looked at? Veterans like you have penis problems. That's the with me. I don't even understand this.
Yeah.
Do you see they're advertising for shit? My dad got one of those advertisements too from the VA. Why the fuck receiving shit for medical conditions we're not even going there for? You see? Based on your medical profile, you may want to contact your provider. Contact your provider about these new services. It's just like it's medical condition shit. Get us on pills and shit.
That's what they want.
I want the VA to send me.
Well, and they seem to be awfully, there seems to be an awful lot of concern about producing more humans.
You yeah, because we need inflation 3.2% in order to keep us going. So you have to in order for to have you have to have bodies to fill jobs and you have to have increasing. There's
Was,
no way to stop this.
the machine got too greedy and started eating too many of the workers.
And now they're replacing the workers with automation in a way that is so well. That's a good thing for us. For everyone that is seeing that happen, there will be a moment of, well, wait. Okay, now you guys own this business and you're making $16 billion a year and you have 40 employees. Fuck off, assholes. Fuck the fuck off. That's not gonna be anything. That time period is over with.
I just view it as like you do realize that you completely overgrazed and there's no recovering at this point unless you change the type of care you're giving your livestock. We're mixing our
Okay.
metaphors.
Okay, so Carmel Eden Lakhani, she specifically trained in neurology. Now I know we're not getting out of this. This fucking person definitely fucking knows what I know. She wouldn't have talked to me. She made the way that she was making very poignant. She's letting me know I fucking know, Anthony. I know. And now I know she knows because she specifically is neuroscience, and psychiatry, and talking about UFOs in the same room in an excited way. This woman knows. She knows about measuring Chris Bledsoe's brain. She knows, she knows how to take the stuff she learned in school and go, what is the electrical components and that's what I think about her. It's going to be really cool. Also, I also know I told Laura when I came back, well, this thing told me I have to find a clinical supervisor. I guess the earth has provided me a clinical supervisor.
You were
Thank
asking
you.
questions. You were
Thank
asking.
you, universe. It has provided people who want my knowledge and they have something I need too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Baha'i thing is going to be really neat for us, I think, for all of us. They're connected to Mount Hermon. Mount Hermon is a World Heritage Site. It is an ancient site. There are at least 12 world religions connected to the area around Mount Hermon that are all older than Christianity. They're all older than Christianity. And so if you just take what does what is the pinnacle of the belief from those 12 religions, you have a better idea about who and what we are doing here than all of the confusion of modern day Christianity. If you just incarnated and you had 12 choices, you would go, oh, it seems like these guys have something for all of us. That's what I think you would find. The Baha'i faith, have you guys studied that at all?
No, tell me about it, please.
Um, they just believe in an first of all, they pretty much have any type of symbol for any world religion on their freaking right on their freaking card. And I'm pretty sure that the white places on the card are for the other world religions that you just need to oh, you're that too? Put that on there too. It's pretty much, oh, okay, just put that on there. And that's why I feel like they've been calling me for a while now, is because I know that they have this one spiritual belief system, one universal creator. There's only one creator system. They also very much know about reoccurring cycles of prophets, the prophets who receive the energy, right? The prophets who receive the energy, embody the energy, and then become the ultimately become the energy while they're on Earth. And they only do that with teamwork. They do not do this. Well, I say that. The optimal phase of it is teamwork. The optimal is teamwork. The optimal is teamwork. The optimal is teamwork. He's gonna. I know in my thoughts, it's still gonna do whatever it does. It's still gonna achieve what it wants to achieve, no matter what. It'll just go inward, and it'll just collate the thoughts into achieving those, and that comes close to death. The other ones that the alone timeline is linked close something with death. Aaron's birthday. Aaron's what is going on with Aaron's birthday today?
What are you guys gonna do?
Well, he's in Salem, so I don't know what he's doing.
How far is that?
He's about an hour or 15 away.
Yeah.
I messaged him. I haven't heard from him yet.
How old is he going to be?
97. What is he? 20, 28.
20 My 96, and she'll be turning 28.
27. Holy shit. My son is old, man.
That's not old.
My
Age is
son,
very different.
32. My oldest,
So
2. Oh, which
that-
by the way, both my kids are going to be moving to Oregon now.
oh my gosh. So the energy is very collating now, because
I feel like I need
if
a
you-
zip line to Oregon. Can we make that happen?
oh, you're already you can already imagine. I'm telling you, you ought to just start thinking about how you're going to set that seed. There's going to be something for our own our collective seed. We have a seed. We're going to do something.
I'm just kidding. I just think that would be awesome if there was a
You-
zip line that went that far.
But I think you already have that. I think you're already. I think you already have an energy in a way that you're not
We're
even
all,
sure
we're
yet.
all gonna we're all going to be getting together at some.
Oh my gosh, for sure.
This is
I'm
I
just
can already.
kidding.
I
I just
said
had a zip line come in my head, and then you could just zip me on back.
guess who was talking to me about the Hathors yesterday?
Oh,
Rachel.
you've got my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me.
I'm like, the minute she said that, I just burst out laughing. I'm like, oh, you're in it now, girl. You are in it now. Welcome to Crazy Town.
Welcome to
I like it when you guys talk about Hathors specifically because she I know that the Bledsoe said that she's a lady. I don't give a shit. She called herself fucking Hathor.
That's what
And
I'm saying. It like she said a name, right? She said a name. Out of all the names, she basically said the okay, if you need to know what motherfucker you're getting presented with right now, go to that bitch. That'll give you an idea. So then I did. I was like, but then it's good too. Let's look her up. Let's talk about her. We haven't
I
talked.
want AI images of little Anthony Kennedy sitting on Hathor's lap
Oh my God, how cute.
I
with
like.
her.
I think that's a good. I think that's a
That's
good.
cute.
I want to sit on her lap and I want to give her a hug and I want to say, listen, you're a pretty mean mom. You- like you're pretty rough. Like you just send me out to do fucking weird ass shit. Are you serious?
Maybe she would say you misunderstand a lot of things, little one. Like a little kid.
Hey, unconditional love doesn't always look like what we think it looks like.
Right. That's the tricky part about learning about all that.
You know what I think she would tell me? The message that I got from that is she's like, oh, remember every one of your kids that you put in a bathtub and you put them at the end of the bathtub and you made them swim to the other end when they were just born? All three of them. I made all three of my kids swim or die. Swim or die. All three of my kids experienced extreme trauma when they came into this earth within 6 months of this earth. I don't know what that means. I put them in the bathtub, made them swim to me. All three of them swam to me. I did it. I don't give a shit because then I knew I tested that thing and now I know it's true and there's probably some significance to it. They do swim. Your kids swim naturally in water. Isn't that
Well,
weird? And they'll go to their parent figure.
mhm,
I think that's the neatest shit in the whole world.
mhm.
I taught my kids to swim I had them both use the same swimsuit. It was a swimsuit that had the donut inner tube sewn in.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
I let them play in it fully inflated, and then every time we'd get in the pool, I'd let out some air, let out some air, let out some air, and they thought that that thing was working, but they didn't realize that they were swimming themselves until I just had them go in the water without it, and then they were like, "Oh." I tricked them. I tricked them.
Like the good parents do.
I also think it's interesting, many paths home, right?
Okay. This Carmel's Instagram, her first picture on there has 53 likes on it. Where is it taken? A whole fucking group of people with a black dog on top of Thor's Well Institute camp. I guess the sign and symbol is there. It's there. You guys are tricky. There's tricky women. There's tricky women in my life. I know this. There's tricky women in my life. There's tricky things happening because I'm seeing things that don't make sense, but I know it's magical and it's really hard to fucking make sense of, except to know, well, they're making it easy for me.
You are making it easy for you, Anthony. You are making it easy for you. You're manifesting all of this, my friend. You are making this happen. You're asking for it, and then it's unfolding in front of you. And you're like, It's magical, but it's like you're making the magic. And that's what we're trying to teach everybody or share with everyone and understand ourselves and embody ourselves. Yeah.
It's
All that.
hard for me to fully grasp that my force is doing this.
I
It's
know.
hard to grasp this. Like people really light up when they see me. I know this. And it's like I feel like really strange. It's really strange. It makes me want to go inward because I'm not used to that. I just want to do my job. I don't.
Anthony, we have had a certain amount of weirdness about ourselves our entire lives. Ever since we came into this world, we've been a little out of step with everything around us, and we've learned how to how to put on the adult human suit. We have learned how to, stuff our all of our shit back into a box that is comfortable for other humans around us to interact with. We are living in a time where we're being asked to come out of our fucking box, to throw off everything that we have been taught. I empathize with you because I recognize that I'm really struggling with, you know, that part of the movie in The Never Ending Story, when the little girl is telling the little boy, call out my name. And he says, but I have to keep my feet on the ground. That part of the movie makes me want to cry all the time because I feel like that's where we are, is
Mm.
we're being begged to like believe in all the shit that you believed in when you were a little kid.
Right.
All that stuff that was magic that everybody told you was make believe is real, and I'm asking you to believe it. And for me, uh, given that I have a mental health history, this has been incredibly challenging because I've spent my whole life firmly, literally nailing myself to reality. And I am being asked to like that coping mechanism that I've been using to keep myself safe and locked into this reality, I'm being asked to let that go. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And yeah, that's that ungrounded potential. Had you do it, this energy loops you up and loops you up, and you don't know what to do with the energy potential that's running through you, that's coming out right now. It's coming out, and you've ended up on a podcast with myself and Jamie, right? And we're talking about our things, and we're doing our things, and it's expressing itself in the way it's supposed to be expressed, that's made for this. And but it was always wanting to be expressed. It just didn't know how to do it, and it trying to express itself, and it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Well, I guess I'll
it.
do this. And then it's like,
Here's the thing that I'm starting to realize, Anthony. It always knows exactly what to do. It knows exactly what to do. It might be a little cloudy sometimes now because I've been quieting it for so long and I've been telling it no for so long, but it knows exactly what to do. It's me that's getting in the way. It's me that's like constantly trying to rein it in or direct how it should go, what is acceptable, what is reasonable. But the thing is what's being asked of us all right now, I think, is to not be reasonable, to drop reasonable. And I don't know how to do that in this. I don't know how to do that the way I'm being asked to. It's scary. And I think we're all struggling. I think that's what you're talking about when you're talking about having this attention placed on it, because you've been spending your whole life trying to not bring attention to that part of you,
yes,
but now part of you is like, no, I need you to stand up and let me wave my hands because it's time for people to see it.
Yeah, and that part has been hard for us people who have had these A, our mental health illnesses, B, the complete chaos that we have given to other people,
Mhm.
both our children and our parents and everyone around us. And then we've kind of awakened and they don't even see, we've gone inward, we've hermited, we've somehow did something that they didn't see. And oftentimes the people, all they have is these little pings of whenever you went crazy or whatever. They don't know that you've gone hermited and you've gone through the psychosis that you needed to go through. And you're living the best life that you can with what you got. And all of the stuff that you had the issues with before, the mental health stuff, you're not going down that world because you already know that these are the certain things that help make it exasperate that. And now you have these like things that, well, I don't do this because that exasperates that. I don't do this because that exasperates that. It makes it more and more and more. And so now we've hermited and now we're trying to come out telling our, and the good thing is I think we're at the right point. We're exactly where we're supposed to be because um if we're really doing this correctly, the ones who have the highest amount of fractal, they're going to kick the doors open and they're going to let everybody say whatever we're okay. Now I know it's cool. It's getting the information now. I know. Okay, it's now taken all of the patriarchal males for the most part. We're going to talk about males and the patriarchal males who run the controlled group of scientific community and stuff that goes behind the scenes of UFO phenomena and spirituality. And these people who have studied this and have all of these patriarchal things that people need to see, like degrees, titles, all of experiences, everything that they need. They're the ones that kick the door for so that the women behind them who have literally nailed themselves, right, so that they can have a voice. That's what's happening. I know this. I've said this 2 years ago, and I know this is true. This is fucking true. It's so that's why I feel like my job is you see me with the witchy, the tarot, the pagans, the people who understand about universal beyond world religions. It's pulling those people into these people with degrees, education,
Mm.
secret stuff, and so that they can say they're the same thing. They're the
Yes.
same. and
Yeah.
and it- my ability to tell my ability and by the way, we should all of us should be able to at this point in the game, we should be able to stand up to average regular everyday people who just have lived their lives, and we should be able to from an education experience and just frank conversation, hey, the phenomena is happening right now. I'm very well educated. I'm connected to these people, and this group of women seem to have a very good voice, or this group of people have a good voice, and that's what's happening. I know that's what's happening because that's what's happening on all the big podcasters. They don't know what the fuck's going on, and they're bringing on people. Why are they bringing on people? Because they know what to do. So you guys know it. That's the only way around it is to bring the people who actually know it in force, in big force. That's beautiful. So we are all pre-prepared. That's why we're standing here. We're standing here right now at the precipice of this thing while people are still trying to figure out what's going on. We're articulating conversation about building foundations. We've gone beyond the planning phase and we're actually building the foundation while people are still fucking going, well, I think I got to do this, I got to do that. We're fucking just building the foundation and removing every other opinion around us, which is the hardest piece, is the opinions that float around us. The opinions that float around us. floating opinions, unfloating opinions.
I don't know that that'll ever be able to be avoided, but I think if we can keep the focus on the fundamentals, the places where the true is the true.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, that's nice and all, but that's like fluff and icing. Let's keep our eye on the ball. Let's keep it on the heart of the matter, the heart of the matter. That other stuff is for individuals to work out on their own playtime. But there are fundamental core things that just, if we keep that in sight, like,
We're
you
the
know,
acer.
love and compassion, always the choice is always love. The choice is always love. What were you going to say, Anthony?
In terms of Thor mythology, we're the Acers. We're the Hathors are the Acers, the Panthors, the Pantheon, the Olympiad. And I don't I'll just be very clear. I'm not I'm beyond the business. There's a group of us that are doing our job, and I don't really give a care about people who have their opinions, who don't want to talk about the ones who are set aside or not. No, every darn world mythology talks about the ones set aside, and it's not because they didn't, not because they're special. It's because they went inside, and you're not going to get me. You're not, there is not going to be any humans on the earth to tell me that these people aren't set aside. They're set aside because of what they did inside their thing. And so to tell them that for somebody to tell somebody you're not special or set aside is wrong. They are wrong. They're wrong. Why do all world mythologies say there's individuals set aside? Because there are individuals set aside.
You know what I was thinking the other day about how, like, we have that phrase, like, oh, you have a Messiah complex. That the negative connotation of the words Messiah complex. And
Yeah.
I'm like, isn't that ironic? That basically that's what everyone is being
Yeah.
to, and it's like, huh, do you think it was a mistake that it was slipped into the collective consciousness that,
Yeah.
oh no, have a Messiah complex is a bad thing?
Right, right. Yeah. Oh, you're telling me, oh, what is the Messiah Oh, yeah, I got a Messiah complex. Oh, I'm connecting myself into the universal Christos energy. And as we build into the Christos energy, you become one. Oh, okay, I am God. Okay, you're God too. Good job. Now, now, let's go outside and let's go do some things. Let's go fucking do some things. Let's see how your God abilities go against God abilities. Let's do that. And I think that's what we're doing right now. There are people on this earth who have the Messiah complex. They are sitting in groups of circles with their whatever religious text, and their people of religion know that, oh my God, this person knows all of the religious texts. They're the Messiah and shit. And then if it's one true Messiah teaching, it's going to allow that to come out. That's what I think. So how does that, how do we, well, well, it gets pretty darn exciting if you think it. We'll all embody the Christ. I'm going to embody the Christ. This woman right next to me is going to embody the Christ. Why wouldn't she want to? And then
That's
I just happen to know it's raw too. It's raw energy too. Okay.
that's the thing I never understood. I never understood, why would it be a bad thing to want to be like Christ, to be of love and want to care for everyone else, and to look, to even save the world? Is that a bad thing? Like, what the hell's wrong with that? Like, why is everybody talking about this like this is a bad thing? Just find it very interesting.
Well, yeah, because we don't have a dialogue that goes beyond that, that goes beyond one. And then we have other world, and that the thing is you don't hear me talking a lot about the Muslim faith. You know why we don't talk about the Muslim faith? Because their religion has gone so far down the fucking rabbit hole that you can't even say certain words without them wanting to fucking kill you and shit. You can't even, you're not even allowed to say things. That is what, okay. And that thing right there, that thinking right there is exactly why what happened in Turkey happened in Turkey. That exact thing that happened in Turkey is why they're going to just continue to get what they get, because you can't, there's no boundaries, there's no fucking movement, there's no what if, there's no the exciting things that the Messiah would be, that the prophet would be. We don't get there because you're not even allowed to talk about it in joy.
I honestly don't know enough about the faith to speak on it.
Oh, but the piece that connects it all is the prophet Al Khalil. Al Khalil is the prophet that will, because Al Khalil speaks to Moses. Al Khalil is the prophet of Moses. Moses is taken aback by Al Khalil. Moses cannot believe that he's being taught by this fucking gangly prophet that goes around killing people for no fucking reason and then raises them from the dead after it kills them. Like Jesus, like the early texts of Jesus, the Nag Hammadi text around Jesus' childhood. Al Khalil around Mount Hermon is doing the same thing that Jesus was doing in his childhood to people. Not knowing what to do with their energy just diminishes people's life force. So literally, no, not even a clue. Using their words and their mouth, not even their actions. Sometimes their actions, and then I'm assuming if it's my own journey, I've had people go off themselves after a physical altercation with me. So I'm assuming that this action is very strange. This behind the scenes energy is very chaotic. I'm assuming. Yeah, that's really weird to say though, but I did. That's really a true statement, and that's how I know that my words and my mouth and my actions mean something.
All I can say is from my observations of energetic systems is um, energy energy travels from place to place and can jump from person to person. That's a lot of the interactions that we see between people, is one person trying to discharge their energy off onto another person. What I suspect would happen is that someone was trying to discharge their energy off onto you, and the answer was no. So that energy was reflected back.
Yeah, specifically, if we were going to be honest, the person was interacting. I don't know. I'm going to say this because I want to say it with my words in my mouth. I don't care if you keep it or not, but the person was engaging some woman in a way that you should not engage another human at all, saying things. And I had just walked into a karaoke bar and hadn't even ordered a drink, just sitting there waiting to sing karaoke. And I listened to a person say something very aggressively nasty to a woman in a very mean way. And I told them, hey, you shouldn't talk like that. And then they just started threatening me. And then the bartender kicked them out. And then that person waited outside in their car out the back door, and they jumped me out the back door. They jumped me out the back door. And it just turned into a very physical thing. And it didn't work out for good for that guy. And my best friend Greg, who's also a social worker, was there. He's a veteran and a social worker, and he was there and he observed it, a whole freaking thing. And it was really that's somebody that guy knew from childhood. Greg knew this guy from childhood. So it was just really strange. It was a really strange event. But what I have to say about that is that that's me not having a clue about this energy, but that thing kind of stuff has happened my whole life. And I never knew, and that kind of stuff has happened my whole life.
I get you, man. And it's reflective of um, the energy that's working behind the scenes. What we
Yeah. Oh,
what we see is the stuff
yes.
on the, it's the ripples on the surface, but there's this whole energetic interplay that's happening through us, through nature, through weather systems, through our economic systems, through our political. They're all this archetypal energy moving through all these various layers of reality, all these different dimensions. Because that's
That's
essentially
what,
what
yeah,
these
when
systems.
you, well, whenever you're saying that, it made me think, yeah, this person's in their own dimensional thing and they're just going through their thing and they have stuff going on. And then here's old joyful Anthony. I'm with literally 5 of my veteran friends and we're we're already past the point of out just drinking honky tonk and dumb stuff all night. We're just having fun. I'm in social work school. We're having fun now. We're just and my energy is just joyous. I'm just there and I hear something. And then when you're talking about this underlying energy, well, that underlying energy, I said something. The person they went to their car. That energy's still stirring in them. They see me come out at a long time period, engage me. I'm still sober. I'm sober. I'm telling the person every piece of energy to leave me alone. And that whatever is going through them, that energy wants to play out on its energy field with me. And how visceral is it? It's this visceral. It waited for me. It did that in there. Then it waited for me. And then after I told it, hey, I don't want anything to do with you. I'm just so you know, you're not giving me any other option. I'm a 2-time combat veteran. I wrestled in college. You just should not do this. Then the guys scratching me, biting me, doing weird stuff. Do you see? It's like a really dark energy came out of this person, and I was engaged in that with this person. Like it wasn't regular mono, it was something
Yeah, there was,
strange.
yes, there was an underlying energy that was drawn to you because it's looking to be transformed. So it has, in order for something that's that dark to be transformed and transmuted, it needs to have a light shined on it that's bright enough to reveal what it is.
Yeah.
But here's the thing is that you didn't take on any of that energy. I think you said something really important. You were sober.
Yeah.
There were no cracks. There were no possible ways to sneak in, for that energy to sneak in and try to hook you in one way or another. It didn't have any opportunities because you were fully. So again, that energy had no place to go. And it was
Exactly.
fighting to get
And
out. It went back
yes.
in individual who was carrying it because it didn't get an opportunity to go to another place.
And
And
it
couldn't just go to any old place, obviously, if it was presenting itself that way.
It even, yeah, and in thinking about that, I was just thinking as soon as you said, yeah, you were sober. Well, how meaningful was that sober piece of this? How okay, that's how meaningful this was when I showed up to because I got cited. I'm just minding my own business, and the guy attacks me, and now I'm receiving a freaking ticket, a ticket. And when the police officer showed up, the guy shows up and says he beat me with this. The guy's holding up a pipe and says he beat me with this. He's telling the cop I beat him with that. And then so I have to show up. And meanwhile, I'm going through child custody and all of this stuff. I've already walked away from this stuff, but this guy has engaged me like this. And so I show up to the magistrate's judge's office and I say, listen, the bartender was standing there. I hadn't even bought a drink. There's no drinks in me at all. I'm just having just there to sing Carrie. And that piece right there that you just brought up that I fully forgot, that was the piece, that was the reason why he just said, well, this is dismissed. It seems very evident that you just showed up, you saw something that you didn't like, the guy didn't like it, and he wanted to beat you up for it. And that sober piece was the piece of this. I wasn't doing anything wrong, and I didn't want to fight the guy. I just said, don't talk to people like that. It's yucky and disgusting. I said something just like that, that you shouldn't talk to any human like that ever. Never talk to a human like that. I don't even know why you do that.
He probably doesn't know why either.
Well, and I think that I said that stuff and that stuff happened, and ultimately they probably came to that same darn conclusion, is that I didn't have anything mean, and I wasn't saying anything wrong. And maybe we all go through times in life where we say things and do things we shouldn't be. And if we don't have a good foundation, or if we're at a very hard time in our life, yeah, that same dark energy will make you it'll make you become a statistic, with
It can. It can, and it's
so
and
in
it,
my journey,
and it,
I also see these 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 nodes as very important teaching points in my journey. And I now can look at this experience and know that, like, oh, Greg, tell me about that person's family. Oh, they're just a really bad. His father and his uncle both committed suicide. And then one of their kids did too, right? And so I think to myself, well, yeah, it's this energy meeting me to give me a teaching point, to give me a teaching point. This is how bad it is. Things are so bad that we have generational families living in generational poverty with no way out. And they're doing this. Their life is so bad that pretty much they just think about offing themselves. And we probably should do something. I see this as a point of, like, oh, that's really sad that person even lives like that. And maybe he's not the problem of that woman. Maybe it's the system that got those two together doing that. And I just happen to be there. And now I have full vision of the system that's in place for that. That's really this is a really good piece to think about for me, because it has to do with very violence and women and oppression. This is a very good piece. I could probably talk about this. I could probably develop a whole thing on this, because it's probably a very healing, and it's for those people, just like it's for that women. For the women, it's for the, I should know that person's name for that teaching point. I should ask Greg for his name. I didn't remember his name.
well, something too that I think is kind of interesting that you shared was that you were with your friend Greg, and who had been friends with this individual since childhood. And that is also significant and not a coincidence, in that all of these types of events, especially when they're large and impactful like this, it wasn't just to teach you something. It didn't happen like just for this part of the story. There are so many other intersections to that event, to that there was some sort of karmic closure that happened between Greg and this individual as well. They'd known each other their whole life. This event had major implications between the two of them.
You're getting ready to pull some more information out. You're pulling more into this. You're doing what you're probably supposed to be doing. It was Greg's best friend. The most traumatic veteran friendship that I've had would be with Greg's childhood best friend, Paul, who's who is a veteran and in his own right, but just embellished a lot about his military service in our friendship circle,
Mm-hmm.
and it culminated in a very chaotic ending of our relationship because I used the Freedom of Information Act to request that person's military records, and I found out everything that I needed to about a human's, and then they pretty much just told everybody that I was lying about my own stuff, yet I had the military retiree ID card and I get health insurance from the military. So I really am what I am, you know? And so but it was also Greg's childhood best friend. And Greg knew he was lying for years around us in in our friendship circle, never said anything. And that was a very interesting time period. So it was interesting for all of us.
So this is more than likely uh, a cycle of energy and energetic interplay that has occurred between your fractals many, many lifetimes over.
Well, it
And
really
it wants,
wants, yeah, it really wants Greg and his wife. They're both social workers. They they both have their master's degree in social. It really wants them to know that their fractals way over there in Jamestown, Pennsylvania, over there by the lake, the one that's right by the lake, that when I go to visit, I hear owls all the time and record them and put them on my TikTok. It really wants Gregory to know. Greg drove with me to move from Pennsylvania to Oregon. He's the one that came with me. So him and I went on this journey. He really wants Greg to know how that uh, he has a message to tell.
can I share one more
Yes.
kind of observation? The darkness that Paul carried is not what we think it is.
Mm.
Because look at what you're doing and look at what Greg's doing. He was part of the mechanism of opportunities that we're all presented with.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to choose how these things shape us. And sometimes there are people we have in our lives where we look at them and we think, you know, that either it's a tragedy or it's a loss, or that they have this darkness in them, that they're lost somehow. And I think we could look at it like that, or we could look at it maybe like they're sacrificing the core of who they actually are to present us with an opportunity to learn something, to see something, to make choices about something, providing the contrast and the love that we need to witness the contrast, to take time to contemplate the contrast instead of just dismiss it, to uncover, to slow down enough to uncover the gifts that are present within the things that we consider mistakes, the things that we consider bad, because they're not. They are opportunities. They're opportunities. We are the ones that place the label of good or bad on them based on how we choose to react to whatever it is.
Yeah.
So Paul presented an opportunity for both of you guys to see ones or zeros, love or fear.
Yeah, and Paul provided, you know, because I have done a fair amount of just like what you're doing right there, and you're helping bring some more of that out of there. Like, what was it all for? What was it? What was it all for? What else did I have? I have a lot of very fun veteran experiences in our heyday with Paul. Okay. But I also watched Paul go into a bathroom and some guy hit on him and then he beat the shit out of some guy for hitting on him. And I didn't think that was cool at all. I also saw Paul, some guy said something right at a bar, at a bar, and he straight up grabbed the beer bottle like this, took it and slammed it on the guy's skull right there in front of me. And then knowing that I had a physical altercation with that person, and that's the last time I just made sure that you're not doing that to me, not this kid. Not this kid. Holy moly. And what I think about that is, um well, the two veterans that I really hung out with a lot, they both have the divine feminine running through them a lot, and it's trying to get out. One of them sent me pictures of themselves. The Marines sent me pictures of themselves in women underwear, and I would tell you that the other veteran ought to be exploring their feminine side too. Just like ancient mythologies, Mother has a nice little prize for some of the male patriarchy. It's got a surprise in them for them, little prize in there. At the end of your violent side and male expression, you get to be your feminine side too. That's the dolphin dance. That's the dolphin dance. I just brought that out right there. The dolphin dance. You can see that I play with this sometimes in my thoughts because it's the only way you can think about it. Why would I be in why would I have to endure people doing this or being this way and then watch what happens? Oh, because they're very feminine, they're going to be it wants me to show that. If you don't let your true self out, it expresses itself in nasty ways through alcoholism, through extreme behaviors, in yucky behaviors, inward behaviors. Yeah, you're right. They're nice little no, they're teaching points. Teaching points, hurting. They really hurt. Just so I'm clear, really hurt.
That's the thing, is that like, to a certain extent, they've sacrificed their own peace
Yes.
for the collective.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Presented themselves as needed to be so that I could gain some damn insight. Because if I don't gain this type of insight, that yes, humans are fucking very devious. They will lie about everything. They will borrow their best friend's Harley Davidson, write it to all of the Harley festivals in the summers and tell everybody that it's theirs, but it's actually one of your best friend's Harley. It's so weird. There's weird humans out there that just do really strange things.
well, here's the thing, and too, I cannot stress this enough, is that you're seeing such a small portion of this person's entire purpose and plan. The intersects that this individual creates a pattern, like the flower of life, or like a sunflower. There are intersections and intersections and intersections that this individual is having within the community that is coming back and bumping into you in ways that you don't even know. And the same thing with you having interactions with some guy at a gas station coming around and bumping, you know, Laura, in a
Yep.
way
Yep.
that we don't know. And so that sometimes too is the hardship in observing all of this, is that we we just don't have the ability to pull the view back far enough to see all of the intricacies and the interplay, but they are there.
Yeah, and when
And they're
I'm thinking about that, when I'm thinking about that, my dialogue always circle back to what I'm doing here. I'm to empower the ladies. The very first person that I intersected with Paul with was Sandy. Sandy was there standing over Paul the last time that I saw Paul face to face. She was there with me. In fact, when it happened, when he tried to engage me over this, she's the one that stopped it. She's like, "You're the liar. You're the thing." She's the one that came and pretty much put the barrier in front of me and him and let everybody know that he was on notice. And guess what? His relationship with her started out with just banging some chick, right? Just another chick on his thing. And he doesn't understand how important Sandy is and still is. Is still is. She's a former convicted felon, track star, and and a mother, and has all of this light in her and unfocused energy and nasty, gross men. That's what I think. And then I think, yeah, she's she's doing magic on all of those men she went through, and it'll all be okay, Mr. Kennedy, because what's going to happen ultimately is she was standing there. She was doing that. And at some point, this is going to connect to her in a way that she knows that it was really real. Yes, Sandy. And she's another woman that she's while we're on this call, is Jamie still even on here? Is she even, oh, Jamie's still here? Okay, Jamie's somewhere in here. Oh, she's also a woman who 100% in my bedroom at 2:30 in the morning could have done whatever we wanted to. In fact, talking about whatever we wanted to, both looking at each other, never doing it. Never another woman that I know I said that whatever this energy does with some of these women, it has set them aside for like this unfolding now. Like, don't touch them, don't fuck up your relationship, don't fuck up that barrier. Because you're not prepared for it like I am now, like I would have just created terror. So I know that she's one of these fractal ladies in my life that somehow the energy told me not to mess with it, even though I had the go ahead light, right? That's what's weird is for me, Anthony Kenny, that is something because there's just a way that I normally did the business all my life, and then there's these outlier ladies that came into my life that pretty much our mothers. She just said, "Don't fuck with them." Probably is what's going on. I'm assuming that's unfully. Yeah, I say that tentatively, but I'm pretty sure it's true that way. How could it come to me? Why would it give it to me any other way? Except through a lesson.